Hi, I'm Dr. Shaunna of drshaunna.com and welcome to Superfood Spotlight. The superfood we're featuring this week in the spotlight is rhubarb. So these are fresh picked right from my garden in the back, and they are actually a superfood, and there's a number of varieties, but absolutely these little gems are definitely worth your consideration. Now some of you may be turned off sometimes because of the tart and taste to it, and some of you might absolutely love it, or some of you not such a fan of it. So let's look at why you might want to give it a look and how we can incorporate it into our diet to make it super delicious beyond just our rhubarb crisp. So first of all, they're really high in fiber. No surprise, you're going to see, just like a lot of our vegetables, they're very high in fiber, about 2 grams, about 9% of your daily fiber in a cup of rhubarb, so that's great. So that's going to be super for our colon health, and when it's great for our colon health, it's been shown, rhubarb has been shown to actually help with preventing constipation. It's been used in ancient Chinese medicines to cure, really as a cure-all for a lot of things if we go way back. But there's been a lot of studies more recently, and we're going to touch on a few of those from all across the globe as to some exciting things about rhubarb. So first of all, they're also low in calories. There's only 26 calories in a cup of rhubarb. So that high fiber, low calorie, they're going to be low glycemic. They're not going to spike your blood sugar. So that's going to be great for any weight loss or weight maintenance plan. So super there. They're also really high in antioxidants. So this is where they start to deserve their superfood status. So they have something called anthocyanins, and we talked about that when we talked about blueberries and some other brightly colored. So that's what gives it that bright red blue color. It also has lycopene, much like you would find in tomatoes. You may have heard about that from there, and a few other antioxidants that are really worth our mention. So the anthocyanins, where a lot of the buzz came from was in March 2010 in the British study and in the journal Food Chemistry. There was a study that looked at, in particular, the anthocyanins from rhubarb, and in particular our crimson crown rhubarb, that's a very slender and very red version of rhubarb, a variety of rhubarb that was grown in the UK, and they looked at it in the lab, and they found that they looked at different ways of cooking it and to see what the level of the antioxidants were and the activity, and they found that actually cooking it longer helped to increase the level of the antioxidants and did not destroy the antioxidant activity. So increase the level of the polyphenols in there. So that's really good. So there was a number of articles that kind of like overstated the results of that study, saying, have your rhubarb crisp and crumble to help, cure cancer. Well, that's a little overstated, but what they did say is that but it was really quite exciting about the increase in the preservation of the antioxidants, because sometimes when you cook things, they're not as active. So that was really great. But also Emory University also did a study, and they looked at one of the substances in rhubarbs called parietin, and they found that there was a breakdown of leukemia cells, and significant in 48 hours. This extract from rhubarb, the parietin, was shown to decrease leukemia cells in half in 48 hours. Now, this was just in a petri dish. This was in vitro. This was in a culture. So not in live patients, and no doubt it would be a lot higher doses and things like that, but they were looking at that to create chemotherapy drugs from it. So, but we can always look at, it's good to know that they're looking at those sort of benefits from it. There was another study as well that looked at its effect with pancreatic cancer as well. So lots of great stuff in terms of the anti-cancer effect there. No doubt more studies to come. Rhubarb's also really high in vitamin C, so we know that's going to help produce collagen, that's going to be skin healthy, it's going to be immune boosting. It's high in calcium, about 10% of your recommended daily allowance in a cup of rhubarb. So it's kind of equivalent to a cup of milk, actually, a glass of milk. So that and spinach, really high in calcium. So that's wonderful. That, as well as it's very high in vitamin K. About 45% of your recommended daily amount is going to be in a cup of rhubarb. So that combination is going to really be great for bone health, strong, healthy bones. It also has a lot of potassium. Potassium is cholesterol, or is helpful in lowering your blood pressure. And we talked about the high fiber, and that's helpful in lowering cholesterol. There was a study done in 1997, published in the Journal of American College of Nutrition, that looked at 10 men, and those who had, again, a rhubarb extract actually had a 9% decrease in their total cholesterol. So that's really great. So this is going to be heart healthy as well. So many great things. The last thing that I'll just mention is has vitamin A, zeaxanthin, lutein, and if you've been seeing these superfood spotlights before, you're already going to know that's going to be eye healthy. So those substances have been shown to decrease the risk of macular degeneration, most common cause of blindness, and help with decreasing risk of cataracts. And another little quirky thing about rhubarb, which I'm going to be testing out, is it has something called linoleurin, and it's been shown apparently to help with hot flashes, although they do not know why it is doing that. They think perhaps there's a phytoestrogen within it, but that hasn't been worked out. So how can we incorporate rhubarb into your diet? Well, you know, some people like it raw. It can have quite a tart taste, and the redder ones tend to be sweeter. So it might just depend on where you are, what kind of variety, whether that's something that soothes your palate or not. They're great in smoothies, so you're going to get a lot of that, you know, high nutrient boost right in there. You can also make soups or put it on salads, shave it nice and thin, and it adds a little bit of nice tartness as well. Of course, most people know it most often for its desserts, in pies and crisps and crumbles and things like that, and often accompanied with something sweeter. So something that we've done recently is paired it with some other sweet fruits. Rhubarb is a vegetable, but paired it with it and but used it sort of differently. So for example, we've done a chicken dish with a rhubarb salsa, but combining it with apple and cinnamon, really good, and even brought that over onto the salad. And when it roasts, it's really quite great. We also did a stir fry. When you do a stir fry, it forms part of the sauce, so it breaks down really quite quickly. So again, and then pairing it with some strawberries and almonds. So really some interesting ways that you can incorporate it. You can freeze it, you can make you know, a sorbet, lots of great things that you can do with it. You can even make a barbecue sauce and use that as a base for it. So it's wonderful. We also did some fish tacos where we combined rhubarb with pineapple and made a rhubarb pineapple salsa just as an extra flavoring. So rhubarb is the superfood of the week that we're featuring in at least 2 of our superfood meals at Meal Cure. If you haven't heard about Meal Cure, you gotta check it out. Head on over to mealcure.com. It's an online physician-based superfood meal planning service where we take the stress and chaos out of what's for dinner and put the fun, joy, ease, and health right back in. Did you like this video? Feel free to like and comment and share and subscribe to all of our superfood spotlight videos, and head on over to Meal Cure. I'd love to get your feedback. With that, have a fantastic week, and most of all, be good for you.